On this part of our morning show from WRCO, we're going to focus on sports a little bit. We got a couple of guys in here well rested and relaxed here, and the summertime is continuing for Coach Andy Troxel, Coach Chris Clerkin in to join us today. And Coach, it's been a continuing thing this summer, a little bit more contact days, right?
Yeah, we haven't added a ton with those, and that's okay, but we've just really kind of gotten a little more focused with the contact days that we've been afforded. So June was a little bit light, we amped it up a little bit in July, and now that we've got, a little bit of a break, 2.5 weeks or so, to give our kids a chance to just kind of relax, be kids, enjoy summer, right, and spend time with their family before we really get after it here in the first week of August. But, that's not to say we don't have a lot more football activities that are happening here that are slated in the next couple weeks.
I presume that they're still lifting in the mornings and whenever they can?
Yep, our kids have been really, really good about responding well to our culture in the weight room. This is something that when we started 7-8 years ago was a little bit light, but now it's just standard practice. And so we have 3 different sessions, 5:30 in the morning, 6:15 in the morning, and 5:30 at night. And I would say we probably have about 45 kids daily that kind of go through that cycle. So it's really cool now that we're at the end of the lifting cycle that kids are starting to test and max out a little bit. And so they're seeing kind of the fruits of their labor with their maxes increasing, and we're very satisfied with just the overall commitment and just kind of the results that are happening in the weight room.
You've had some camps this year, haven't you, for the younger players? I saw some pictures?
Yeah. So we've had more of a high school focus so far. June we had a couple 7-on-7 opportunities, but then we had the OSA camp that went really well, and that one is more for 7th grade through high school, and that was fairly well attended as well. A lot of Richland Center kids. We're always looking to kind of expand that, to other local communities as well. But I would say probably the most recent one was our team camp, and we hosted that at the high school, and our numbers looked really strong. And that's the one thing that we're really excited about is for the first time in probably 5 years, we really have a solid group of kids all the way through. So that allows us really to let our upperclassmen kind of work with one another, and we don't have to rob from Peter to pay Paul, but bring an underclassmen up before they're ready. And so they have kind of their own little crew there as well. So we're really excited that they're able to service one another, and that should help them develop as a football player. So we had 3 days of that, and then we got a chance to test it as we rolled over into our home 7-on-7 tournament that we host every year, and it was effective. Both our JV and our varsity programs really had success there, and we were able to see some kids that really shined on that stage.
7-on-7 is really a fun concept, isn't it?
It is. We're predominantly a run team, but this is a chance to kind of look at different schemes, and I think does 2 things for us, right? It allows our defensive secondary to kind of get used to different formations, right, and different plays and different offenses for that matter, but then it also lets us work in kind of our pass game. And there's different schools of thought. Some people will have a 7-on-7 offense that they run, and others that will run variations of their offense that you'll see in the fall. And we do the latter. And so we saw a lot of play action with our stuff. We're not a 5-wide, we're not a spread team, right? But we were able to kind of isolate certain kids in certain matchups, and people try to take certain players away, like Liam Finkerson or Brady Dosh, but that opened up other people like Holden Grob and Will Weiss, and other kids across the board as well. So it was pretty cool to see our kids respond and know our scheme and feel very comfortable in that in the pass game.
Well, I know you have some camps coming up. We'll talk about that. Coach Chris Clerkin is here, too. It's not too early to start talking about the youth guys, right?
Oh, it's never too early. I feel like that's my whole world at this point. I run, a lot of youth programs in town here, so always looking to build, from the youth level to try and increase our odds at the high school to get quality athletes in. So it really starts, really in the first grade, kind of area to try and get these kids in, have fun, to stick with football all the way through. And then, once they get to high school, it's, now I get my hands on them and we can really get them going.
How did the baseball season go for the youth?
It was good. We had 4 tournaments over the summer. Coach Troxel's son was in there. He did a phenomenal job from day one to the last day that we just finished our tournament. He's improved immensely, and that's what we're looking for, is to see improvement in the kids, general knowledge of the game, and then, just being a team when we're out there. So it was a huge success this year, being our first year. So we're going to keep it going, and hopefully, in the future we're going to have so many kids we might have to turn a couple away, but we'll see.
One of the things you mentioned in there, I think, Coach, is a key word, and that's fun, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's kind of the main goal with all youth sports is first we have to find, your interest and love in playing the game, and we have to have fun with the kids. It doesn't do you any good just to, you have to get it perfect every single time. Let's go out, let's have some fun. Within that having fun, we can teach you how to play that sport. So a lot of drills, a lot of games that you can play with them, that they're learning the sport but having fun at the same time.
Are there some dates coming up then that we should be aware of as far as getting the youth signed up?
Yeah, so sign-ups are open right now for first through fourth grade flag football, and then we also offer fifth and sixth grade tackle football. So everything that we have, you can go to rcfootball.com. Underneath of that, you go into the forums, and then you'll be able to see the link to get those signed up. We do everything online now. There's no paper copies that we're going to do to sign up. So everything's through riser.com. If you go to our Facebook page, I'll have event numbers for each one. That way you can find those.
Okay. So. And is it against other schools, Coach, or do you just kind of do inter-squad stuff?
Yeah, so for the first through fourth grade flag football, we'll do a partial inter-squad. We'll do 6 weeks of play against each other. So each level will have 4 teams. So they'll play each other twice for those 6 weeks. And then I like to host my own tournament. To bring in other schools in. And then one thing we did new last year was we actually did someone else's tournament just to see kind of how somebody else runs it and how they do it. So we'll stick with that. We'll do 1 tournament away, 1 tournament home, and then we'll have about 6 weeks of play here. As far as the 5th and 6th grade program, I'm actually the league director for the whole thing, and that's brand new, so they just voted me in over the winter to be the head of that. So we have 6 teams within that, so there is going to be travel. There's Poynette, New Glarus, Edgewood, St. Francis out of Cross Plains, who we've partnered up and done a lot of things with over the summer. And then Basketball, River Valley, us are all in that. So there will be some travel, but it's extremely fun. It's basically 8-man football on half a field going one direction. So there's not all those crazy, blindside hits, crazy, injuries that happen. Everything is, with the intent to keep it as safe as possible for the kids.
That's awesome. When do you play those games, Chris?
So those games are going to be on Saturdays. We've done a cool thing in the past a couple of years where if we've usually done it with basketball or with River Valley, to where we'll contact their head coach or the director of the program and go, hey, let's do a night game. And we'll usually schedule it for a Thursday night. We do it up on our game field, turn the lights on, scoreboard. I get the high school kids to come down around the chains, do some refereeing. So it's always cool to get them underneath the lights to see potentially where I'm going to end up.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the kids enjoy it.
Great. Coach Troxel, you've got some camps coming up next week, right?
We do. So in the past, we've done the Brady Ewing Youth Camp, and that was a little bit of everything. And so this year, it looks a little bit different. The Brady Ewing Youth Camp is still there, right, from July 28th, 29th, and 30th. But that focus will be on running backs and linebackers. And so what we've done then is we've created 2 separate camps that will run concurrently. And so those are the Hog Academy, which is your offensive line and your defensive line, and then the Ball Hawk Academy, which are your wide receivers and then your defensive backs. And so the thought process behind these 3 camps is that we really want to dive in and focus on, development and technique within those respective positions, and especially, right before the youth football season or the middle school season begins, we want to make sure that our kids have a solid base that they can kind of springboard off of into their fall seasons. And so registration for those 3 camps is open still. It will remain open until July 25th. But again, we don't turn any kid away. If a kid wants to play football or engage in football activities, just come out, right? And we will take care of it, and so we just want kids to develop a love and a passion for the game, and especially at the young youth level.
And again, it's not just a Richland Center thing, is it?
No. In fact, the Brady Ewing Youth Camp has had a tremendous draw in years past. We've gone as far west as the La Crosse area with kids, to the Madison Metro, I think the Mauston area, and then even down to Cuba City or the Platteville area too, with kids that just want to come and be part of it. So it's always cool to see kids from Southwest Wisconsin that they want to become better football players, and we're excited that we get to offer an opportunity for them to do that.
Is Brady on your staff again this year for the high school teams?
Yep, he'll be around for sure. It's tough to kind of turn that level of expertise away, and so I know he is an individual who's in high demand, with a lot of things. So he's always done a wonderful job making time for his alma mater, and so he's very influential within our weight room. But then we'll also see him, helping out with the high school program, in some capacity, and I know he's going to be heavily involved with our youth programs as well, with fall flag and then fall tackle as well.
Yeah, it's not many coaches in high school that can say you've got a former pro on your staff, a former college player. I mean, you've got a little bit of everything on that staff, don't you?
We do. We're super excited with just the expertise and the talent that we have on staff. Brady is an excellent addition to our program. We have some other coaches, too, that have collegiate experience. I know this year joining us is Brian Kroll, or Dr. Kroll, and he comes with some collegiate experience from the University of Iowa with defensive backs. And then even our wide receiver coach has some expertise from kind of the Southern California area. I think Fresno State a little bit as well. So it's always cool to look at the local talent that exists kind of within our part of Wisconsin. And we're super excited that they chose to work with our kids at center.
When's the first day of official practice for the high school football teams?
First day of official practice is going to be August 5th.
Okay.
We're going to kick things off the day before with an unofficial party, and that's Hive Night. There's a lot of excitement around just the upcoming football season. I know we're excited. Our kids are excited. I think our community's pumped up about it. But Hive Night is kind of an opportunity for people from the community to come and meet our kids, meet our coaches. There's a spaghetti dinner. It's a free will offering for that. We've got a couple donations and raffles and things like that. Greg Shep has been instrumental in kind of organizing it from his end, and he said that place is going to be packed. And so I'm excited for that. We're looking forward to that. But we want to extend an invitation to everybody in our community, right? Not just our football families from the youth level, middle and high school level, but anybody that bleeds orange. It's an open invitation to come and celebrate our program. Got
a chance, if you attend, to win some things, don't you?
Yeah. So one of the things that we're going to try this year is it's a free drawing with Tony Burke and Town Taxi. And so it is a fan bus giveaway, for our first away game. So I believe the fan bus can sit 15 people, and so you come, we pull your name, you and your closest friends get a free trip down to Potosi. Still have to pay admission, to get in, but transportation's taken care of. So when I reached out to Tony about it, Tony was all on board, super excited about it. That's a guy that absolutely bleeds orange and just wants to do what he can to help the community and help the program as well. So, yeah, you don't have to buy a darn thing. You just show up, put your name in a hat, and hopefully we pull your name.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Again, so that's the 4th, and that's to kick off the Hornet football season.
Yep, August 4th from 5 until 8 p.m., so again, spaghetti dinner, free will offering for that. And then we'll have some apparel discounts there that'll only be available at that night, working with another outfitter, Amber Ewing. And I think retail, it's about $140. You can buy a spirit pack for $70, and that includes a hoodie, a t-shirt, sweatpants, shorts. I mean, apparel's gotten pretty expensive, and so that's really kind of cool to offer that to our fan base, and then I think we'll have our calendar raffle for sale, and then just some other things that are happening there. So it's going to be action-packed, a lot of things that are going on that night. So it'll be a fun way to kick off the 25 campaign.
You said you're going to have some pretty good numbers for the varsity team this year, and so it's going to look pretty good, it sounds like. Yeah, we're excited. Right now we're probably in the mid-50s with those kids that are interested in football, and you never know when school starts, and buddies talk to one another, right, about joining football if you get a couple other kids that are new to football. But that's the thing that we're starting to see is that our culture has shifted enough where now kids they want to be part of it.
And so I know we've got about 4 or 5 kids that have never played football before that are coming out and they're giving it a try. And they're able to do a lot of our summer stuff and they're having success. And they're like, hey, I like this. This is a good time, And they like the culture. They like the camaraderie, right? They like having success, And so our numbers are growing through just kind of word of mouth. So, mid-50s. And hopefully our goal is to get to 70. Probably not this year, but in the next few years with a lot of the work that Chris is doing at the youth level, I think in probably 3 to 4 years, you're going to see Richland Center football back to just high numbers, high participation, and a lot of times success is going to go along with that.
Do you like the fact you're starting just a little bit later? Because sometimes you're playing a game somewhere in the teens in August, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I mean, the weather has been really good to us, I think, this summer. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, all right, when's the heat wave going to come? When you've got 90, 100-degree games and that kind of stuff. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it's always nice to kind of push it back a little bit.
And the first game is against Viroqua, right?
Yep. August 22nd is our home opener against Viroqua. We're super excited about that game. It's nice to have somebody kind of local. And then we're going to be tested week 2 right away, going down to Potosi. And then week 3, we're in conference play, and I think our goal is to contend, for a playoff run and a conference title. Our boys have bought in. Our coaches have bought in. In fact, we're the old guys now. We're the old staff. I think I'm the most tenured coach in the SWC at this point.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we've just had a lot of turnover with coaches, especially head coaches, right, in the SWC. So this season of the 9 regular season games that we'll see, 5 of those will be brand new head coaches.
Interesting. Coach Clerkin, anything you wanted to add today about youth or the upcoming football season?
Just make sure you talk to your friends and get it out there, being that we have a new sign up. It can be a little confusing on where to go and to get signed up. So the sooner you get signed up and the more friends you get signed up, the quicker I can get teams made and we can get rosters out to the coaches. So, but other than that, it's going to be a fantastic year. I haven't had a complaint yet. So.
Good. And you have gear, you have helmets and
we got all the fancy stuff for you.
Good.
One thing we're adding this year for the youth 5th and 6th grade is actually guardian caps. Have you seen NFL players wear them in games? So we're going to have our kids wear those guardian caps all the time, practice and games. Just another level of safety for the kids. So
right.
We got brand new helmets, but we're still going to throw those guardian caps on there. So.
And I think that's good. If someone is a little hesitant, if parents are a little hesitant, maybe that kind of gives them a little bit of relief.
We're not going to charge the parents to have the kids wear them. It might be a case in some other programs where they have the parents actually buy them for them, but we are able to get a grant provided to us to let us purchase those. So it's going to be free to use. Every kid's going to get one. And they don't look that terrible. So
no. Do you have some socials set up where people can find out more then about the programs?
So if you want to go to our new Facebook page, we have a separate youth Facebook page, Richland Center Hornet Youth Football. We're going to have all of our promotional stuff on there, sign-ups and stuff like that. We can throw videos together of guardian caps, pictures, videos, anything we do throughout the season will be posted there.
Wonderful. Anything else you want to add, Coach Troxel?
No, I think just the only thing I would end with is, like we do every time, don't let cost be a hindrance. Mm-hmm. We have a very, very supportive community here that has helped us financially to make sure that if a kid wants to play, we're not going to turn you away.
Well said. Good way to end. Thanks, guys. Good luck this season.
All right, thanks, Phil.
You bet. Head coach Andy Troxel, Chris Clerkin as well from the Richland Center staff, talking football today on the morning show.